Hi guys, this is Hero. How's everyone doing today? Aaj bale kem cho aaj sab kaise ho. So today I'm going over a root cause of why you possibly could be depressed and how to handle it. Okay. So one perspective, see, there's many different perspectives to look at mental health issues, right? Like anxiety and depression. And I've said a lot of them, mainly in regards to anxiety. But I have a couple videos on depression. I think actually maybe just one. But I want to explore another one right now, okay? And that is depression being caused from emotional turmoil. Okay, what do I mean by this? Subconsciously, you have all sorts of racing thoughts and emotions. Okay, when your emotional, let's just say backlog, gets too built up for various reasons, you have a lot of emotional like garbage you're consuming either through TV, through your friend circle, whatever, and or usually in the combination of you're not really outletting that emotions, or you've been kind of built up certain mental holding patterns or walls to not outlet the emotions. Your emotions get stored up here. Now, your emotions, yes, they're here, but that comes at a cost, right? There's like a maintenance cost. Okay, you can almost say for like your mind, your spirit, whatever. There's a certain energetic or mental cost, right? This is not it's not scientific, so don't find expect to find any scientific studies on this. Maybe there might be, I don't know, but it's just one spiritual perspective. The So you have in your mind a bunch of racing thoughts and emotions, which is coming at a cost, right? This cost is what's causing you to be what could be causing you to be what we label as depression. Okay, this depression is coming from the fact that you are literally so energetically and mentally consumed with the racing thoughts and emotions that you don't have time or energy to do things. And even if you try to do them, see what happens is, let's just say you take certain people and you try to force them to go to the gym. You try to force them to come hang out. You try to force them to go do this, do that, right? They might come, right? But the problem is like I said, it goes back to the two things that I just said. There's already too much of a buildup. Like there's a lot of buildup. Okay. And this buildup doesn't necessarily mean that, their life is shit. Maybe nothing actually, really bad happened. Nothing bad could have happened, whatever. Right. But it's the buildup, and it's the buildup because of the second reason, which is because they already have certain mental walls not allowing them to kind of release. Right. And it's a combination of both of these two, that like a certain outing with your friends or a certain gym session or something like that, it's not just going to magically break down years worth of mental rigid like mental rigidness having gotten formed, and emotional baggage just continually getting added. Even if the baggage on a day-by-day basis wasn't that bad, eventually, because you have such a strong wall built up, even the littlest things add up over time, right? Now, the question is, what do we do about this, right? So assuming, let's just say, you or someone that you watch this video, you believe me, and you want to do something about it, right? So now it's like, what do? Well, you acknowledge both of these two things. But the thing is, they both get acknowledged in different ways, okay? The first one is the one that people mainly focus on, okay? Which is not adding the garbage, right? Maybe getting on a little detox, whether it could be food detox. A lot of you don't realize how much emotional mental garbage you consume just by eating crap food, right? Get off social media, avoid toxic people. Hey, this is why these people have such a low social battery, because there's anything that just gets added to it, they don't know how to process it. So it's just stuck there. So they don't want to add any. You can't really blame them either, right? And they haven't really been taught about how to deal with it. Okay. So what do you do, right? Okay, all that shit can work for the first one, and I do think that it's a necessary part. But I think the second one is by far the most important, right? Because that's what's actually gonna break it down and actually allow you to process things. Okay, the first one is great. But there's a lot of people who go through a lot of shit in life, and you don't see them all depressed, right? But the thing is that, so yeah, the first one is important because you already have such a humongous backlog for possibly months, years, probably years, maybe even decades, right? But how do you break down that rigid emotional things? Okay, you have to really, really, really shake things up. Okay, what I mean by that And again, this is not anything, scientific or anything like that. You can either believe me or you cannot believe me. But if you look at anybody in life, whenever anybody has a major life change, it's usually because something big happened. Okay? Now, in order to really change a certain rigid mental holding pattern that your brain kind of thinks has been serving itself, or your ego kind of thinks has been serving itself, you got to really shake things up. And if you don't have something in your life that happens to shake it up, you got to make it shake it up yourself. Okay? Now, how do you do that? I'd recommend some sort of extreme fasting. Okay? Now, what does that mean exactly to me? For me personally, if this was me, I'd go on minimum 3 days. Okay? And ideally 1 day of no water, but that might be a little bit too intense, so maybe not do that. Okay? Minimum 3 days. You will see all your hormones, everything will just start changing. And you're going to have to do this multiple times. You're going to have to do this maybe like once every 6 months or something like that, right? It's not just going to be a one-time thing. But you'll notice certain things will get broken down after those 3 days. I mean, 3 days without food is a long time. That's like almost torture to your brain. So your brain is going to be so focused on that it has no choice but to not spend that energy on those walls. And the walls will get broken down. You'll start to feel the emotions running out, which will consume more energy, and the walls will get even more broken down. You'll see how this is a cycle. Now, over time, after the fasting is over, the walls will get built back up, because that's what your brain's used to. But that's where you got to do it in a certain amount of time, right? Now, so you got to do something extreme, right? But on top of the other extreme thing, you've got to be disciplined about a few different things. Because, see, if you fast, right? I just said over time those walls will get built back up. There's certain things that will build up those walls faster than others, okay? Garbage TV, garbage friends, garbage music, all this kind of stuff, right? These will build up the walls exponentially quickly. So if you can get rid of these, but these things don't mean shit unless you do the big kind of thing to kind of just really, like, put a crack in the wall. Okay? Now, you might not have to do this. Okay? You might not have to do the fast. There's other things you can do. Let's just say you haven't really had the best success with relationships, and somehow you just muster up the courage to get things going with somebody you really have your eye on, and it works. And it's just like, after a little while, you'll notice the wall could start getting broken down, right? But it's on you to kind of continue it, right? Yes, it cracked. Yes, the fasting cracked it, but it's on you to continue it, or else once that relationship is over, that wall is going to start getting built back up very quickly. Okay, so that's that. Okay, you need to acknowledge that. There's other things you can do. You can go on like a big ass trip or something like that, like a vacation to like Europe or like Canadian Rockies or Alaska, whatever, right? South America. You could do something crazy to build down that wall. But when you come back, when it's over, to continue kind of hammering away, that's where the other work's going to come in, right? So you need to have a plan, right? It's great that maybe you might be willing to watch a video like this and put in the effort and stuff like that. But if you don't have the right plan, it's not going to end well, right? It's kind of like you could do certain workouts, and it's great you have the workout ethic. It's great you have, the diet discipline and all that. If you're not doing the right things, you're not eating the right foods, you might not see what you want to see, right? And I want you to see what you want to see. So in terms of this, right? So just keep that in mind. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, let me know in the comment section or in my email. That's it for this video. Until next time, talk to you guys later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.